Well, for more on China and Pakistan's bilateral ties, let's turn now to Mohammad Ali. He's a lecturer at Johns Hopkins University. Good to have you on the show. So, this is the first trip by a Chinese premier to Pakistan in over a decade. Could you talk about the importance of this bilateral relationship and how it's being viewed regionally?
Well, bilaterally, it is, and of course, a very important relationship. It came at a time where Pakistan was, the security situation, this is almost a decade ago, was tenuous. Foreign direct investment was drying up. And CPEC was announced and linked, and rather linked, not only linked, but created as a flagship for the larger BRI project. And initially, the idea was to have this, and this is, of course, a multi-year project, to have it be around over $60 billion. So far, only 25 billion or so have been spent. There have been several implementation hurdles. But a lot of the infrastructure needs and the energy needs for Pakistan was so desperate for energy at that time that it signed, rather generous contracts with the independent power producers, including those, belonging to Chinese companies. So Pakistan now is in a situation where it owes a lot of debt, for this infrastructure, because the idea was to link this infrastructure with special economic zones and, boosting agricultural and manufacturing capabilities within the country. So these loans could be paid off. And right now, Pakistan is in economic stress because its economic growth rate remains quite lackluster. And besides all the money it owes to the bilaterals, the World Bank, the IMF, China has become its single largest bilateral lender at present.
Right. So it owes money in all this building of all the infrastructure, but how might CPEC, how might the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor help transform its economy in the future then?
I mean, if it goes to plan, and they are, when we're thinking of manufacturing, I think China is trying to now, with the M1 line, which is another infrastructure project. It's trying to, and that's a sizable project, and there's been a lot of discussion about this to get this on the ground. But that, again, is an infrastructure development. What needs to happen is, boosting the manufacturing capacity, right? So I think that is where the work needs to go in, and where work also needs to go in is, trying to bring in more participatory elements. So, I mean, there's been now talk of greening CPEC. There's been talk of, the premier, when he came, Prime Minister Li Qiang, I mean, he announced airport in Gwadar. Now, in Gwadar is in Balochistan, a restive province for Pakistan. And, just trying to attend to the security concerns by use of force without really addressing the human security concerns, without creating employment opportunities, sort of has been stoking disgruntlement. So that is another major challenge, right? Like the greening of CPEC and making it more participatory and, of course, making it productive. So that the loans, I mean, these loans are a good thing. The infrastructure is a good thing, but now this infrastructure has been built for what? For the transfer of goods, right? So besides doing sort of regional integration, Pakistan itself, with its special economic zones, needs to boost its manufacturing capabilities. And, and that's going to be how it's going to be able to pay off those loans. So the idea was that this is going to happen in phase 2, but the security situation does remain tenuous. And some of this also, the security situation in Balochistan, restiveness in Balochistan has been targeting Chinese workers, and it remains an issue of concern. And there needs to be a rethink around how to manage this, because the use of force alone does not solve such issues.
All right, Mohammad Ali, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you so much for your time.